Today we're going to practice solving quadratic systems that contain two quadratic functions. When we look here, we can see that there are four options when we have two quadratics. We can have no solution where they don't intersect, two solutions where they intersect two times, one solution where they intersect once, and infinite amount of solutions if it is the same function graphed on top of itself. We're going to use the OMGmath method to solve these systems. The equations we're given are x squared and 2x squared minus x plus 2. We observe for this one that we have two functions. Both of these are quadratics. We need to find the solutions. That is our mission, that make both equations true. Our game plan for this is to create one equation with one variable from the two equations, then solve for a variable. Then once we have that variable, we can plug it in and solve for the remaining variable. Here's what that looks like mathematically. Both of our equations are in the form y equals. Since they're both in the form y equals, I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to take this y value, which is x squared, and substitute it in for the y value in the other equation. So when I write out this equation, instead of writing y, I'm going to leave a parenthesis, and in the parenthesis I'm going to substitute an x squared. So x squared equals 2x squared minus x minus 2. Then whenever I'm solving quadratics, I know that my goal is to get it equal to 0, so I can either use quadratic formula or factor and solve. To get it equal to 0, to cancel out a positive x squared, if I subtract x squared minus x squared is 0, so I get 0 equals. When I go to subtract on this side, I'm going to line up my minus x squared with the other x squared. 2x squared minus x squared is just x squared. And then I drop down the minus x and the minus 2. From here I have two options. I could use quadratic formula or I can factor and solve. Since I know that this is factorable, I'm going to factor it. So it's going to become x minus 2, x plus 1. If you did not know it was factorable and did not want to solve it this way, you can always use quadratic formula. Once I have my factors, I set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So x minus 2 equals 0. To get rid of a minus 2, I add 2 to both sides. Minus 2 plus 2 is 0, so those cancel, and I get x equals 2 as one of my solutions. My other solution, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. X equals negative 1. But if we remember our mission said to get a point in xy form. Right now we just have two x values. So we're going to take our two x values, negative 1 and positive 2, and we have to plug them into these equations to figure out the y values. Since this equation is simpler, we're going to plug into that one. So our y value is going to be equal to negative 1 squared, which is 1. So the coordinate for this solution is negative 1, 1. For this one, we're going to plug in 2 to the equation y equals x squared. So we're going to get y equals 2 squared. 2 squared is 4, so our y value for this one is 4. So the point here is 2, 4. So now that we have our 2 points, we have finished this problem and we have found the solution to the quadratics.
Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.